Hey guys, welcome back to Sunday School here at First United Methodist Church. Man, I'm so glad that all of you are here this morning, and I hope you had a great week at school. This morning, we're reading a story from the Old Testament. Remember, the Old Testament are the 39 books at the beginning of the Bible that tell God's story up until Jesus came. This story is from the book of Genesis. The word Genesis means beginning, and it's the first book in your Bible. We're going to read this morning from the Spark Story Bible. So the name of our story is called The First Sin, and it's about two people we met last week. Remember Adam and Eve? God made them, and he gave them a job. Take care of the garden. Let's see what happens next. One of the animals that God created was very tricky, the serpent. The serpent was clever and sly and up to no good. Did God really say you can't eat the fruit from the trees in the garden? The serpent hissed softly to Eve. No, said Eve. God said we can eat fruit from any of the trees in the garden, except for the tree in the middle of the garden. God said not to eat from that one, not to even touch it. The serpent smiled, a sneaky little smile. Ha! God doesn't want you to eat fruit from that tree, because if you do, you'll know everything. You'll be just like God, the serpent hissed in a sly way. Eve looked at the tree in the middle. The fruit sure looked good. So she ate some, and she gave some to Adam too. As soon as they ate the fruit, everything changed. Adam and Eve became very embarrassed and shy. They sewed some leaves together, making some pretend clothes to try and cover up. They stood nervously behind some bushes. They heard God walking around in the garden. God called out to them, "Hey, where are you?" Adam and Eve hid. "Hey, where did you go?" called God. Adam peeked out from behind some vines. He said, "I heard you and I was afraid." "Why were you afraid?" asked God. "Well, I'm naked for one thing," said Adam, who was quite embarrassed, "so I hid." "I see," God replied. "Who told you that you were naked?" Adam said nothing. "Did you eat the fruit from the tree I told you not to eat from?" said God. "Eve gave it to me," Adam blurted out. "The serpent made me," exclaimed Eve. "He tricked me." God sighed. "I told you not to eat from that tree. Because you have done what I told you not to do, life will be very difficult for you now. You will have to leave this beautiful garden and work very hard to get the things that you need. Now you will know what it is to be unhappy, and someday you will die. I made you from dust. When you die, you'll become dust again." God made some real clothes for Adam and Eve and sent them out into the big world. And God was with them everywhere that they went. Guys, Adam and Eve did something that God had told them not to do. He said, "Don't eat from the tree." And they ate from it anyway. You know, sometimes we break the rules too, don't we? Sometimes when everybody else around us, they start making bad choices, we make bad choices too. Sometimes when our moms or dads look away for a second, we get tempted to do something that we don't want to do, like eat a cookie out of the jar that mom or dad said no about. But this is what I want you to remember. No matter what, God always loves you. Even though he kicked Adam and Eve out of the garden because he broke the rule, the end of the story says, "And God was with them everywhere they went." Y'all, God is with you too, everywhere you go. But he does want us to make good choices and to follow his rules and to follow the rules at our school and in our houses. So guys, when you're tempted to break a rule just because somebody else is, remember this story. And remember that sometimes when we make bad choices, there are bad consequences. But no matter what, God is with us and he loves us so much that he sent his son Jesus. Guys, I hope you have a great week at school, and I'll see you back next weekend. Bye.